But more broadly, isn't it sometimes just better to say less? Like, I know we're in the business of media, so we obviously want people to say things so we've got things to talk about. But, you know, I often wonder and I often ask myself, you know, who is advising the Sussexes and can they see sometimes either how poorly they come off or how sometimes what they say actually just gets them into more difficulty than it needs to?
Well, I think you look at the polls of Harry and Meghan's popularity, certainly in the UK and the US, it's fallen quite considerably. I mean, Harry was the absolute darling of the royal family for so many years, hugely respected. And I think this constant talking that they've done, whether it's the Oprah Winfrey interview, Netflix, and Harry's book, has really shown them in a different light. I mean, we bring it back to the charity work that they have said that they've concentrated on doing. I think realistically, they need to capitalise on their great fame in order to try and change the narrative, because people have fallen out of love with them a little bit. I think people need to see them rolling their sleeves up, doing the charity work that they said, and trying to forget all the noise that surrounds them sometimes. But it's easier said than done, isn't it?
That's true. But on that, we see that Meghan has brought in Michelle Obama's press secretary. Can you fill us in with what's going on here?
Well, again, I mean, you talk about star power. This is a story that Meghan Markle had been paying Michelle Obama's ex-press secretary for advice, and it gives you some indication about whether she will have political ambitions herself. I mean, that's often been rumoured, whether she saw herself entering the political fray. Again, we talk about their two star power. Love them or loathe them, they are very, very popular, and everybody talks about them. So again, when you talk about Harry and Meghan, you talk about the fact that they're globally recognised, the fact that they can do an awful lot in the charity sphere if we get across the noise that we've had over the last couple of years, especially. And does Meghan see herself entering US politics? I mean, it's a big, big question. Some people have said it's frankly ridiculous, but I wouldn't bet against her on this point.
No, but it doesn't necessarily mean her entering politics. Maybe it's just a change of tact. Maybe it's just maybe they want to do things differently going forward. Is that equally a possibility?
Well, definitely. I mean, they've had an awful lot of turnover from their staff, which again raises questions about what direction they're going in. And again, we don't think we can even say with certainty what direction that is. We talk about Archwell; it's still in its infancy. They've got an awful lot of strings to that bow. We've got the podcasting, we've got the Netflix series. I actually think we'll see another Netflix series of Harry and Meghan. I don't think we'll see just the one. We'll turn over what Harry and Meghan did next, potentially. But again, these political ambitions, I don't think it's all ridiculous. And I think that when you're talking about Harry and Meghan, there's definitely a lot more for them to offer.
Yeah, great insights. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Russell. That's all we've got time for. We look forward to having you on the show again. Have a good evening.